Hello, friends, and good morning. Welcome to the stream. Um, Sorry for the very incredibly random um, shuffle we got this morning, but it's kind of funny in its own right. I think going from Metallica to NSP to Slayer to NSP to Disney to Slayer, and then Destiny Potato, which again is a great band. Um, a lot of you probably haven't heard of them. Definitely give them a shot. Good morning, VJ. The shuffle was amusing. Yes, Taylor, I know. I kind of just let it do its own thing. Um, so this is the first time I'm doing this show. Welcome, friends, and good morning, gamers. The show, of course, is called Good Morning Gamers. We're gonna do just kind of a recap of some of the bigger things that happened in the gaming industry this week. It's gonna be pretty light. Um, pretty kind of like a morning talk show. It's a little bit fluffy, but with news at its base and stuff like that. Um, so that'll be the basis of the thing. Just kind of showing off what's going on in the gaming industry and stuff like that. But first, as much as I love this background and this setup and my logo right there and the beautiful wallpaper I have behind me, it's not very good for reporting news. So if you'll give me a second, I'd like to make something a little bit more newsworthy. That's better, right? See, I even got a guy back there. He's doing whatever. There's stuff on screens. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what any of it is. But the point is, the point is that this is how the news program's going to work, and I'm pretty excited about it. Anyway, we're gonna have a little bit of bleed in the show this week about stuff that happened at PAX West last weekend. Usually, I'm only gonna stick to stuff that happened within the week, but PAX West happened last weekend, and some things were on Friday and Saturday. So we're gonna bleed some things over just a little bit. Um, but first, let's go into the stuff that's coming out. Um, so this week, the big one is Phoenix Wright, of course. If you haven't checked out the Phoenix Wright games, I definitely recommend it. Um, Everyone's been playing this Ocean Horn game too, by the way. I have no idea what it is. Apparently, it's a Zelda clone. I don't know what Unbox is. I don't know what Star Trek Online is. I could take a guess, or any of this stuff. But coming out, you can see this is the part where tons of things are coming out. You've got Dead Rising being re-released on next-gen consoles, or current-gen consoles, excuse me. Bioshock, the collection, coming out. A NASCAR game, because apparently people still play NASCAR games. I don't know, Taylor, you're my resident driving expert. Are NASCAR games still relevant, I guess? Is the word I'm looking for? I'm not sure. I've never played one before, so I have no idea. Um, and then you've got your NHL and your Pro Evo Soccer. Recore is coming out, which is strange because a lot of people forgot that Recore exists. There's been virtually no marketing for it, and it's uh, as relevant as tennis games. Thanks, Joe. Um, Recore is releasing at the budget price of $40. People play them, but there's a much bigger audience on PC for simulation racing. Okay, thanks, Taylor. Um, Recore's coming out, and I'm not really sure what to think of it. I'm really excited about it because a lot of people involved with it are people that uh, do good work. Like the old Metroid Prime game at Prime team at Armature Studios is working on it. Um, my friend Laura and Travia worked on the music for it, along with composer Chad Sider. So that's a pretty good thing. But we haven't really seen much about it, so I'm not 100% certain. Eventually, I'm going to play it, and it's going to make its way on stream and stuff like that. Also, Persona 5 is coming out in Japan, which is awful because it's not here. Um, it'll make its way here anyway, eventually. Um, let me jump into a couple trailers that really kind of stood out to me this week. Let's start off with this Skylanders trailer. So for those of you who haven't been keeping up, Crash Bandicoot is making an appearance in the next Skylanders game. Um, And this new trailer kind of shows some of the gameplay off. It looks like a Skylanders game, but it also looks like a Crash game. Which is strange. Like, I've seen some people that said they don't like the redesign of Crash, and I'm like, well, he didn't really get that much redesign, it's just he's more detailed now. He still has his weird non-neck thing going on. He still defends with his tongue out. And whatever this is. I've never played a Crash Bandicoot game in my life, so I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm looking at, I guess. But I mean, it looks cool. It looks like Crash. It's, you know, I'm probably gonna get the little toy. You know, won't get the full game though because I'm not interested anymore. Taylor says, how are the Skylanders games? I know a lot have come out, but are they good? Taylor, they're surprisingly good. The only reason I stopped looking into them is really because there's too many figurines. I mean, that's the only thing. A lot of people are really critical of you needing to buy these figurines in order to play the game. There's no other way. You can't like unlock them. You can't unlock them in-game, you can't unlock them through DLC, you have to own a physical piece of plastic in order to play as these characters and stuff like that. Which is an understandable criticism, you know, some people don't want to collect all these pieces of plastic. I'm perfectly okay with that, clearly, as my 100+ amiibo collections dictates. So, I mean, they're good games, and the last one, Superchargers, was apparently awesome, but I stopped playing them because it just... if I get back into them, I would need to collect all of them, and there's a lot of them. I think I had a friend of mine who did an article where he looked into how many figurines there were, and it was only the third game in the series, and already there were something like 300 figurines if you wanted all of them, but that was including like reposes and repaints and like special editions and stuff like that. So they're good if you can find them at a budget price. Like when the new game comes out, when this Imaginators comes out, the old games are going to be dirt cheap. So if you ever want to take a look, I recommend them. I think they're fun. Usually they started off as kids games, but they're a kids game that the developers, Toys for Bob, really wanted to make into something that parents could actually stand playing. Because if you've ever played a game geared towards young kids, you know that there's absolutely no depth to them whatsoever. And they're just so incredibly grating to play for a long period of time. So the Skylanders games are good at, you know, making sure that you're invested and making sure that it's an actual game that adults might enjoy playing. The next few trailers I wanted to get into, I wanted to talk about World of Final Fantasy, because this game has kind of snuck up on me. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a huge Final Fantasy fanatic. And this game has been interesting because it's been announced and like talked about alongside the likes of like Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts and all this stuff, but it doesn't really get much of the spotlight because of stuff like Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts and all these other bigger franchises. But we're starting to see more of World of Final Fantasy and stuff that's really funny and really fun. And like this is supposed to be kind of like an homage to the entire series as a whole, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary next year. So they released a couple trailers at PAX last weekend that I just want to take a look at because I think they're great.
Guys, are we sure this thing's safe?
Looks like a one-way ticket to, you know.
You know I hate that kind of...
It's just the conductor.
Oh, then this must be the same train as the Always. Huh? The conductor?
Yes, in all my succulentious glory.
What? Why did you scare me?
But miss, you were practically begging for a good heart stopper. Ask and you shall receive, I say.
What kind of stupid, messed up logic is that? Stop doing that!
Zip, zip.
Would you cut that out?
Zip, zip, zip.
Just let me hit you!
Zippity, zip, zip. 50-odd years of cactuaring. I'd say I know a thing or two about dodging. Come and get me.
Get back here, you prickly paw!
Is this? Rain, are you a...
I still got it.
Yeah, well, you don't have to give it to me.
You better keep practicing, little giant girl. Can't touch this cactuar.
One of these days, I'm gonna get you for this!
Okay, we're kind of getting off track.
That's for the sure.
So, Taylor, if there's an echo, it might be the sound bouncing off the trailer from the... I can turn the volume down on my end a little bit, just to make sure it doesn't bounce off as much. So this game looks great. Like, that cutscene was great, the voice acting was great, the humor was great. There's another one they released. This one's pretty good too.
What the hell?